And now we understand that you're doing a series with BBC.
I've done it.
You've done it.
I've done it.
Tell us about how that related to Africa, and give us an interesting inside story about.
So it was great fun for a start. So what happened was, nearly a year ago, I left the almighty GS. 20 very happy years there. And many people were trying to persuade me to do various things, and my criteria were, if it's not better, it's got to be different.
Right.
How in conventional finance, how can anything be better than what I was doing at GS? I felt a very lucky person there.
Yeah.
So I was intrigued by things that were pretty different, and the BBC approached me about doing, I call it my version of a Michael Palin, travelling around a number of emerging economies to make a radio documentary.
Yeah.
And many years ago, I'd written something about all the economies that were more than 1% of global GDP, and they shouldn't be called emerging economies. And in addition to the 4 BRIC, this is a bit pedantic, so apologies, but bear with me.
Sure.
After the 4 BRIC countries, there's 4 more: Mexico, Indonesia, South Korea, and Turkey. Which, when I published this paper, a Korean journalist 2 days later wrote this blog piece saying, Jim O'Neill's created another acronym, MIST. Which I didn't know that I had, and it kind of stuck. Right. So when we were discussing things with the BBC, one of them rather astutely said, you don't really believe, do you, that South Africa should be treated at all as South Korea should be treated at all as an emerging economy anymore? I said, no, because its wealth is nearly that of a G7 country. It's like an insult. Yeah. So he said, why not take South Korea out and put Nigeria in? Because you're always talking about Nigeria these days, and it would be different, and it would be fun, and it makes mint.
Right.
So that's kind of where it came from.
Okay.
But it follows a number of years where I became more and more intrigued about Africa in general, whatever that means. It's probably inappropriate to just think of Africa in general, but with that caveat, I have got more and more intrigued, particularly about Nigeria, because it's, at least 15% of the continent's population.
Absolutely.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.